Right now on All New Viral, we celebrate the life and career and legacy of Senator John McCain, America's true Maverick, as All New Viral starts right now. Everyone, this is Kenny Dix for your second season finale of Viral. Man, in Viral with Bang with Senator John McCain. Unfortunately today, the world has lost a Maverick in him. The U.S. Senator from Arizona died Saturday at the age of 81 after a year-long battle with brain cancer. He lived his life his way and on his terms until the very end. McCain started his upbringing in a military family where his father and his grandfather served and defended. He later fought in the Navy and joined and served in the Vietnam War. So let's take a little brief history on John McCain becoming a man. Take a look.
John McCain was born August 29, 1936, at a naval base in the Panama Canal Zone. His father and grandfather, both named John, and both in service. Wartime commanders, John McCain's fate was laid before him.
I remember when my dad's friends would be over when I was very young, and they'd say, what class is he going to be? Not, is he going to the Naval Academy or not? What class would he be?
He would attend the Naval Academy in Annapolis, in the footsteps of his father and grandfather. He would graduate, part of the class of 1958. Here, heading to flight school in Pensacola, Florida, he would later volunteer to drop bombs on targets in North Vietnam during the war.
That's where the sound of the guns were, and we wanted to ride to it. It is what we train for and what our mission is.
At 31 years old, aboard the aircraft carrier Oriskany, flying an A-4 Skyhawk on his 23rd run. Just as he released a bomb, an enemy missile takes a wing off his bomber. He ejects, breaking both his arms and one leg, his bomber washing ashore. McCain would land in a lake in the center of the city of Hanoi. The Vietnamese would pull him out of the water and capture him. They would stab him, beat him, and then take him to a prison camp, later known as the Hanoi Hilton. Filmed as a POW, he was asked his name.
What is your name?
Lieutenant Commander John McCain.
Unable to use his hands, he had to be fed by his captors. His irreverence, a source of strength to his fellow prisoners.
How is your food? It's not like hers. I ate it.
Deteriorating in strength and delirious with pain for months, the Vietnamese only treated his wounds after they realized he was the son of a famous admiral.
I think you have a famous name. Yes.
The Vietnamese would have an offer. They would tell him he could go home. They hoped it would be a PR coup for them, given how famous his family was. But McCain would refuse. He told them he didn't want to break the U.S. military code of conduct for POWs. The first man captured must be the first man out.
I badly wanted to go home. I was tired and sick.
McCain would stay another 4 years as a POW, half of that in solitary confinement. In 1973, 591 POWs were released, and John McCain was one of them.
Commander John McCain.
A salute and home on American soil. Reunited with his family, deciding to serve his country in a new way.
I'm announcing today my decision to become a candidate.
Elected to the House in 1982 and to the Senate 4 years later. He would run for president in 2000 and again in 2008. Campaigning against then-Senator Barack Obama, McCain would do the unthinkable in today's politics. He defended his opponent.
I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not. No?
No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
And it was a year ago he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, returning to the Senate floor just days after brain surgery, walking in to a standing ovation, casting that deciding thumbs-down vote on the effort to repeal Obamacare without a replacement. In one of his final public appearances, John McCain joining his daughter Megan.
I love you so much.
John McCain spent his final months with family, with friends, and reflecting in his autobiography on the power of humanity, the power of what we all have in common.
Before I leave, I'd like to see our politics begin to return to the purposes and practices that distinguish our history from the history of other nations. I'd like to see us recover our sense that we are more alike than different.
As you saw that story, McCain became a naval officer. He worked his way up. You know, he was captured, returned to the States. He was awarded the Purple Medal of Freedom Award. He became, he was a war hero, you know, surviving through that for 5 years, and then you come out there even stronger, even better than you was. And then he could have been offered the early release, but he said, no, I'm gonna stay with my brothers and my money. And that's what McCain did. You have to honor that and admire that from John McCain, what he did and how he lived his life like that. He became, in 1986, McCain successfully ran for senator, and he won. He won the seat. He started his career in politics. Let's take a look at his incredible story as a senator. Take a look.
Blastoma, an aggressive form of brain cancer since July of last year. On Friday, Senator McCain's family issued a statement announcing his decision to discontinue medical treatment.
And we're looking live this morning at a picture of the White House where the American flag has been lowered to half staff, and over at the U.S. Capitol building, the same tribute.
In Vietnam this morning, the site in Hanoi where McCain's plane went down during the war, you see locals laying flowers there now.
Tributes pouring in from all the living former presidents this morning, as well as from the current president, Donald Trump, who has been very critical of McCain, tweeting, "My deepest sympathies and respect go out to the family of Senator John McCain. Our hearts and prayers are with you."
We're going to be talking about this relationship coming up on a very busy and, as we said, historic morning. We have team coverage this morning. Chief Anchor George Stephanopoulos standing by. But we want to start here with ABC's Terry Moran, who is near John McCain's home in Sedona, Arizona. Terry, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. This ancient desert this morning, it seems a little different, and ordinary human life is dwarfed by it. But John McCain left his mark here in his beloved adopted home state of Arizona, and Arizonans knew it. They elected him 6 times to the United States Senate, finding in McCain's conservative yet occasionally maverick politics something that matched that kind of flinty pioneer politics of their heroes Barry Goldwater, Sandra Day O'Connor. And so, when the motorcade bearing McCain's body left his ranch just a mile or so from here, and bringing him with a police escort down to Phoenix, where there will be a service later this week. Occasionally, you'd see ordinary Arizonans come out to say farewell. His family saying farewell as well. His wife, Cindy, issuing an emotional statement saying, "My heart is broken. I am so lucky to have lived the adventure of loving this incredible man for 38 years. He passed the way he lived on his own terms, surrounded by the people he loved, in the place he loved best." And his daughter, Megan, also issuing a very emotional statement saying, "I was with my father at his end as he was with me at my beginning. In the 33 years we shared together, he raised me, taught me, corrected me, comforted me, encouraged me, and supported me in all things. He loved me, and I loved him. He taught me how to live." What father could want anything more? What husband could want anything more? Guys?
And Terry, there has been an outpouring of support from McCain's colleagues on both sides of the aisle, but Democratic Minority Leader Chuck Schumer already talking about a special tribute.
That's right. Chuck Schumer has said that the grand Senate office building, now known as the Richard Russell Senate office building, should be renamed for John McCain and become the John McCain Senate office building. Richard Russell, a longtime 20th century senator from Georgia, a segregationist, though. And so in many ways, his politics have passed. And Chuck Schumer wants to rename that building, which we all know from movies and from the great hearings that go on up there, the John McCain Senate office building.
I think a lot of people will see that as a fitting tribute. Terry Moran in Sedona, Arizona. Terry.
The Maverick who did the right thing and wanted to work with us across the aisle to make a difference in America. You know, like bipartisanship. That's, you know, we're missing that in America. We're seeing Republicans siding with themselves and Democrats siding with themselves, not them working together. McCain was the one that reached out and the aisle and tried to, you know, hey, give, you know, hey, let's work a compromise. Let me make a deal. Also, he made a bid for his U.S. presidency twice, in 2000, 2008. Let's take a look back at the 2008 acceptance speech. Take a look.
I have a privilege given few Americans. The privilege of accepting our party's nomination for President of the United States. I will keep taxes low and cut them where I can. My opponent will raise them. I will open new markets to our goods and services. My opponent will close them. I will cut government spending. He will increase it. My tax cuts will create jobs. His tax increases will eliminate them. My health care plan will make it easy for more Americans to find and keep good health care insurance. His plan will force small businesses to cut jobs, reduce wages, and force families into a government-run health care system where a bureaucrat stands between you and your doctor. We all know that keeping taxes low helps small businesses grow and create new jobs. Cutting the second highest business tax rate in the world will help American companies compete and keep jobs from going up. We're going to help workers who've lost a job that won't come back find a new one that won't go away. We will use our community colleges to help train people for new opportunities in their communities. For workers in industries that have been hard hit, we'll help make up part of the difference in wages between their old job and a temporary lower paid one, while they receive retraining that will help them find secure new employment at a decent wage.
All right, McCain accepted the nomination of president in 2008, and he will go on to face Barack Obama for the presidency. But this remarkable moment in 2008 where a detractor of who was sitting in the aisles with McCain stood up and said why she displeasure of Obama's religion. McCain, you had to believe, see for yourself, McCain defended Obama in a Maverick way. Take a look.
We're scared. We're scared of an Obama presidency, and I'll tell you why. I'm concerned about someone that cohorts with domestic terrorists such as Ayers.
I have to tell you, he is a decent person and a person that you do not have to be scared as President of the United States. Now, look, I
got to ask you a question. I do not believe in. I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not.
No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
John McCain didn't have to do what he did, but he did what he thought was right. And that's one thing about John McCain that's going to leave a remarkable impression for him, for just stand for what you believe in. You know, if this person don't believe the same values, the core beliefs, then, you know, we have to, all he did was did it respectfully and, criticized her and, chastised her and told her, hey, that's not the right thing to say. He's a wonderful family man. That's what most plans be. You might not believe people's philosophy, but you know, some people might do some bad stuff, but then in the end, they got some good stuff about it. Some good, you know, features or, you know, good things to say. And even the ones who do good got a little bad in them too. So, but I mentioned that right here on Twitter, right here, the Obamas responded. You can see right there, as well as the Clintons have responded to John McCain's passing. Even Republican leaders, Democrat leaders, all missing the loss of John McCain. Even President Trump tweeted. Now, I don't know if he's sincere about it or he's genuine. I don't know, because him and McCain didn't even like each other and they couldn't get along to kill him. And this, you can see right here, John McCain did the unprecedented with the little thumbs down. He made sure that Trump wasn't going to win that, going to get that vote. So I guess I heard Trump a little bit angry and a little bit jealous. All right, no matter what party lines you draw, either a Republican or a Democrat, you have to respect how he handled the situation and did it with honor and grace. On that day, I will admit, I respect John McCain for standing up for what was right when he did chastise that woman about, hey, the man, me and him got different policies, different beliefs, but he's still a family man. He's a good family man. So, you know, John McCain will live in infamy, and his legacy will live on through his work and the great people in Arizona for what he done for them and what he done for this nation. So now Senator John McCain is gone, but we'll never forget what he has done for his country. On that last note, I'm going to leave you viral with the season finale with John McCain's last words. And also his last words that he left. We'll see you now. See you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Rosen. Where are you?
What a privilege it is to serve this big, boisterous, brawling, intemperate, striving, daring, beautiful, bountiful, brave, magnificent country. With all our flaws, all our mistakes, with all the frailties of human nature, as much on display as our virtues, with all the rancor and anger of our politics, we are blessed. For the sake of some half-baked, spurious nationalism cooked up by people who would rather find scapegoats than solve problems, is as unpatriotic as an attachment to any other tired dogma of the past that Americans consigned to the ash heap of history.